Zelensky Bad News Putin's opponents who met mysterious ends. The private jet on which Russian mercenary chief Yevgeny Prigozhin was listed as a passenger crashed north of Moscow, and all aboard were presumed dead. Prigozhin, 62, led a mutiny against the top brass of the Russian army on June 23 and 24, which President Putin said nearly led to civil war in Russia. There have been other mysterious deaths or near-death experiences involving people who opposed Putin or his interests. Some information is provided below about these mysterious occurrences. ANALES After being poisoned in Siberia by what Western experts determined to be the military nerve agent Novichok in August 2020, Russia's most prominent opposition leader, Alexei Navalny, was flown to Germany for medical treatment. Russia has strongly denied having any role. Admiration for Navalny grew worldwide after he voluntarily relocated back to Russia in 2021. On his arrival, he was promptly taken into custody. He has been convicted of fraud and other charges, which he claims are false, and is currently serving a total of 11.5 years in prison. His political party has been labeled extremist and banned from public life. Recently, 19 years were added to Navalny's prison term at a high-security facility. Skripal Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia were found unconscious on a bench outside a shopping centre in Salisbury, England, in March of 2018. Sergei was a former Russian double agent who passed secrets to British intelligence. Officials in Britain have said that Novichok, a class of nerve agents developed by the Soviet military in the 1970s and 1980s, was responsible for the victims' critical conditions at the hospital. They were both able to make it. Russia has strongly denied any responsibility for the poisoning and accused Britain of inciting anti-Russian hysteria. Ivankovich Kara-Murza In both 2015 and 2017, Russian opposition activist Vladimir Kara-Murza claims he was the target of poisoning attempts. Medical records seen by Reuters show that a German lab later found he had dangerously high levels of mercury, copper, manganese, and zinc in his body. Moscow has claimed innocence. C. Alexander Litvinenko British officials have stated that former KGB agent and Putin critic Alexander Litvinenko, 43, died in 2006 after drinking green tea laced with polonium-210 at London's Millennium Hotel. According to a 2016 British investigation, Putin likely sanctioned the murder. Involvement has been denied by the Kremlin. According to the investigation led by a senior British judge, the killing was committed by Andrei Lugovoy, a former KGB bodyguard, and another Russian, Dmitry Kovtun, as part of an operation likely directed by Russia's Federal Security Service, FSB, the main heir to the Soviet-era KGB. Exactly 6 years before he was poisoned, Litvinenko left Russia for Britain. Arsenios Perpilichny The 44-year-old Russian was discovered dead in the vicinity of his mansion on a secluded estate outside of London in November of that year. In 2009, after cooperating with a Swiss investigation into a Russian money laundering scheme, Alexander Perpilichny fled to the United Kingdom. There were rumors that his untimely death might have been murder. Despite speculation that he may have been murdered with a rare poison, British police have ruled out foul play. Toxins from the gelsemium plant, which are extremely rare and highly lethal, were discovered in his stomach, according to testimony given at a pre-inquest hearing. Sorrel soup is a traditional Russian dish, and Perpilichny had a hearty bowl of it. Russia said they weren't involved. Yushchenko During the 2004 presidential election campaign, when he was running on a pro-Western ticket against the pro-Moscow Prime Minister Viktor Yanukovych, Ukrainian opposition leader Viktor Yushchenko was poisoned. He claimed he was poisoned while having dinner with Ukrainian security officials outside of the capital city of Kyiv. Russia has denied participation. The levels of dioxin in his body were 1,000 times higher than average. The poisoning disfigured his face and body, requiring dozens of surgical procedures. After protests in the streets of Ukraine dubbed the Orange Revolution, forced the Supreme Court to overturn initial election results declaring Yanukovych the winner, he eventually won the presidency in a new election. Politkovskaya, Anna Politkovskaya, a journalist who wrote about human rights abuses, was killed on the steps of her Moscow apartment on October 7. A 48-year-old mother of two, Politkovskaya's murder sparked outrage in the West and highlighted threats faced by Russian journalists. Lisa Shoemaker compiled. Cynthia Osterman edited.